Maybe there are people, visitors at the Albertina Museum, who have never heard before the name of Ofer Lellouche, although he's one of the best and most famous artists from Israel. His work contains the whole tragic history of the Jewish people. We at the Albertina Museum encountered him as a printmaker and as a draftsman. I loved him when I met him for the very first time a couple of years ago and saw his woodcuts and etchings and thought by myself, he's unmatched, maybe only with Jim Dine, who is a close friend of him, and that not just by accident. In the meanwhile, I realized that his sculptures are as important as his prints, and definitely his self-portraits, which are more or less charcoal drawings. In the Albertina Museum, we show an exhibition which is a kind of retrospective, and people asked me, after wandering through the galleries, if this kind of art is depressive. It is not depressive, not at all. This is melancholic, no question about that. And it reminds us of the eternity, of life, and of death at the same time. When you see his self-portraits, you ask yourself who you are, where are you going, where do you come from? It's not only a questioning of the soul and the inner life of the artist himself, but of ourselves, of the viewer, of the spectator. For me, this is one of the most beautiful exhibitions at the same time. That might sound strange for ears who realize that the whole exhibition speaks of a tragic life, of a tragic existence, because the existence of man is tragic. But it's beauty at the same time. You realize that the beauty of a skull, the beauty of a head of a bronze, the wooden sculpture, might be so convincing as is the Nefertiti or other Egyptian sculptures, more than 2,500 years old. Ofer Lellouche is a contemporary artist, and it's always a privilege if an artist can say of himself, I'm contemporary. I realize what's happening today, what's happening in my surrounding, in my life. But he talks more than any other artist about the eternity and the substance of mankind, the existence of life. And that's why an encounter with his art enriches our psychological way of seeing art in an enormous way. I wish everyone who has the possibility and the option to visit the exhibition the very best in the experience of this very serious art of Ofer Lellouche.